It was years after Birmingham, decades, when the Civil Rights Museum opened in Memphis, that just by chance, an NPR reporter happened to record an exchange between an elderly man and a young man who was standing there near the entrance where there are giant blown-up photos of great moments from the Civil Rights Movement. And one of them is an image that came out of Birmingham. The young man recoiling as the police dog on a leash lunges for his stomach. And the NPR reporter, just by chance, captured the instant when the young man, looking at the photograph, looked up at the older man beside him and said, "Is that you?" And the older man, who was Fred Shuttlesworth, said, "Somebody had to do it, didn't he?" Beside the eloquence of the letter from Birmingham City Jail, there is the eloquence of Fred Shuttlesworth. Somebody had to do it, didn't he? In this action forum, few of us are called upon to be a Martin Luther King Jr. or a John F. Kennedy. But there is no excuse for not feeling called upon to be a James Bevel or a Fred Shuttlesworth. The young Chinese dissident referred to in the video was a Henry Crown Fellow, Li Lu. And it was here in Aspen, seated at a seminar table in a discussion of the letter from Birmingham City Jail, that Li Lu raised his hand. When he was recognized, he paused for a moment, and he said, "In the struggle for justice, there are no innocent bystanders."
In Birmingham City Jail, Dr. King wrote, "We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. My name is Neil Phillips. I am a Pahara Aspen Education Fellow. I am starting a network of charter schools for boys, Visible Men Academy, so boys of color may realize their magnificent destiny."
In Birmingham City Jail, Dr. King wrote, "History is the long and tragic story of the fact that the privileged groups seldom give up their privileges voluntarily. My name is Cami Anderson. I am an Aspen Pahara Education Fellow. As a lifelong advocate for educational equity and the very proud superintendent of Newark Public Schools, I have and will continue to push myself and all of us to confront our own privileges so that even well-meaning leaders do not replicate cycles of oppression."
In Birmingham City Jail, Dr. King wrote, "Justice too long delayed is justice denied. There comes a time when the cup of endurance runs over and men are no longer willing to be plunged into the abyss of injustice where they experience the blackness and corroding despair." My name is Andisiwe Kawa. I'm from the South African Leadership Initiative Fellowship. I'm working to get sexual violence cases in South Africa to be properly investigated instead of being withdrawn and thrown out of court.
In Birmingham City Jail, Dr. King wrote, "Injustice must be exposed with all the tension its exposing creates to the light of human conscience and the air of national opinion before it can be cured." My name is Bill Browder. I'm a Henry Crown Fellow. 3.5 years ago, my Russian lawyer, Sergei Magnitsky, was tortured and killed in a Russian prison for exposing corruption. I spent the last 3.5 years fighting for justice for Sergei Magnitsky and fighting for justice against human rights abuse in Russia.